Hi folks, welcome to another episode in this Transport Fever 2 video series. And welcome back to MurphWorks, the little channel that just keeps on trying. In the last episode, we added a bus station in Las Vegas to support our passenger train station. In addition, we looked at vehicle emissions to see how that affects gameplay. And last but not least, we added an inner-city bus line between Columbus and Naperville, and I think I just saw a deer going off in the distance. And since money's too tight to mention, we'll likely have to push our existing cargo trains really hard by increasing their capacity by adding wagons. And who knows, we may have to take them to their maximum load. Let's get started. Smash that subscribe button below right now and click on the bell so you don't miss out on more great content. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. Or just give it a thumbs up for yourself so that you'll always be able to come back and watch it again if you need to. Let's start out by checking our station statistics. So we'll pull up our station statistics and we'll make that just a little bit bigger and center it in the screen. So what have we got here? In terms of overload, things are looking pretty good. As I scroll through, we have one mediocre, which is at the Oxnard transfer. So we're going to have to do something about that soon. And if I go up here to Colorado Springs Halt, we have a cargo of 329, and it's kind of volleying between very good and good. But given the amount of cargo that's there, we'll probably have to keep an eye on that one. But for the moment, let's go back down to the one that's mediocre, and let's go to the Oxnard transfer. So over to Oxnard we go. And that's one of our bus stations. So let's do some reconfiguring of this bus station. So I'll click on the transfer and hit configure, and I'm just going to add a passenger platform just to give it a little bit more capacity. And you know, I might go just a little bit farther, and in doing so you can see those connections that start to develop at the end here. So now passengers can walk from this road to the transfer without having to go all the way around. So that might be a benefit. In any event, we've now increased the capacity of this bus station. Let's close that up. So if you remember, I talked about the potential overloading at the Colorado Springs Halt. Well, let's go down to the Colorado Springs Halt now to see what's going on down there. So here we are at the Colorado Springs Halt, and a train is just leaving. And if I click on the Colorado Springs Halt station, we're at 311, so the cargo's getting up there, and although I'm not getting a warning sign, visually you can tell that this station is almost overloaded, or it's getting very close anyway. So I think this is a problem we're going to have to start dealing with soon. Well, and look at that. We're now at 322 in terms of cargo, and I get the little warning sign pop up that some cargo items are lost because the station is overloaded. So we knew we were going to get there, it's not a surprise, but now we've got to do something about it. You can see we have 3 trains, and some of them are getting pretty old. We have one at 20 years old and one at 38. But if I click on train number 1, it's making money for me. Go back to the Colorado food train line, click on number 2. It's making money for me, not a lot, but it is making money. And this one that's 16 years old, well, it's losing money at the moment, which is a bit distressing. But overall, the line is making money. So I think the strategy I'm going to try is for trains 1, 2, and 3. As each train returns to Colorado Springs Halt empty, I'm going to send it back to the depot and add one gondola to increase the grain carrying capacity. It's not a perfect solution, but I'm hoping it will be an economical one and an efficient one. In order for this solution to work, I've got to make some changes to the track connections at the train depot. Let's just go in a little bit here. We got a new vehicle available, the 442 Atlantic. That looks pretty expensive, and it's got a top speed of 100 kilometers per hour. We'll just close that up. I'll go down to trains and track, and let's just add some track here and loop around like that. And we'll add a signal, and not a one-way one, just zero in here. That. I also have to make some changes here because now we want this track to actually connect over here. So let's just make some changes. So we'll just bulldoze that. There we go. And we'll add the track in just a slightly different way so that it connects right about there. That ought to do it. Oh, and I just missed this train here coming back. Shoot. Oh well, I'll catch them on the flip side. So here we go, and we'll put that signal right there. So now that I've got the track configured the way I want it at the train depot, when a train leaves the Colorado Springs and comes this way to Colorado Springs Halt, when they're empty, they can then go into the depot. I just hate losing a full load of cargo if I don't have to. So my next step is to wait for a train coming back the other way, this way, empty, and we'll send them to the depot. So I'm going to lie in waiting for that next train. All right, here comes train number 2. He's empty. He's got no grain and no bread, so let's send him back to the depot. So he's heading for the depot now, and there he goes. And in he goes. Let's click on the train depot, and we'll highlight train number 2 and click on the wrench. So what do we have for options? Well, we have more options now for cargo. For example, we have this one, the gondola with an 80 km/h top speed. And this one down here with a top speed of 50 km/h. But since my train, I think the locomotive I'm using has a top speed of 45 km/h, it makes no sense to add a gondola with a top speed of 80 km/h. So adding a gondola with a top speed of 50 km/h will match the speed of the existing train as close as possible. So let's add one gondola, and we'll hit modify. And then we'll send him back on his way to the Colorado food train. Oh, we got a problem. There's unable to find the path to the stop. Oh, and there's my mistake right there. I didn't make the track connection properly. Tisk tisk, so let's fix that. I'll just hit pause, and I'll bulldoze that little chunk there, and we'll just connect that properly so he can find his way back to the line. There we go. And we'll put in a signal. And I'm hoping he should pop out now of the train depot. And he's not. Well, we got a problem. All right, what's going on with this guy? Well, maybe I just have to send him back again to the Colorado food train. That's all I had to do. And here he comes. He's now well on his way. Now I'm just going to hit pause because there's something I want to check. I want to go down to the food processing plant, way down here. And I want to check something. You can see here my connection here is very close to the Colorado Springs East terminal. And I'm wondering now that I've made the trains longer if this distance here is too short. Well, let's just lengthen that. I don't want my trains to come down here and then not be able to come back because they get snagged on this connection. So we'll just bulldoze some of this. It'll give me a warning sign it won't like me. And then we'll put some track back. And then I'll put a signal. It will be a one-way signal right there. I'm hoping that solves the problem. Yeah, I got signals here. I know they're a little too close, but that should give us lots of room for our longer train. So let's close that up and hit play. Now let's go down to the other end of the line to see if we have another train coming that's empty. And actually, you know what? I'm going to hit pause again. So let's go back down this direction. So train number 3 is now empty and it's headed toward the train depot. So now that it's empty, I'm going to send it to the depot. And we'll do the exact same thing to this train that we did to the other one. And into the train depot he goes. We'll click on the train depot and we'll modify train number 3. And we're going to do the same thing. We're going to take a gondola with a top speed of 50 kilometers per hour. We're going to add it and hit modify. And then we'll take him and put him back on the Colorado food train line. And there he is. He's starting to move very slowly, but he's coming out of that train depot. So unfortunately now, I can't remember which trains I added gondolas to and which ones I didn't. So let's take a look at this guy here. He's train number 1. He has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 gondolas. So if I just click on the Colorado food train, train number 1 has 6, train number 2 has 9, and train number 3 has 7. So I guess train number 1 is the one I still need to add a additional gondola. And yes, I know he's 39 years old, but I'm looking for an economical solution. Let's just close that up. Once again, once he leaves Colorado Springs unloaded, we're going to send him back to the depot. Okay, he's leaving Colorado Springs. That's train number 1. He's got no grain and no food. So now's the time to send him back to the depot. And off he goes. And into the depot he goes. Alright, let's click on the train depot. Train number 1, we're going to modify him. Similarly, we're going to add a gondola. We'll do that, we'll modify the train, and we'll send him back on his way. And there he is on his way out of the train depot. Now we've increased the grain carrying capacity on all 3 cargo trains. And now I certainly acknowledge that at least one of these trains is really old. Train number 1 is 40 years, so it's well past its normal service life. And for all 3, they are likely underpowered for the load they are pulling. Let's check that out. So here's train number 1. He's poking along at a speed of about 38 kilometers per hour, and it looks like it's increasing, but ever so slowly. And if I look at the details, I think if we look down to, there's a power rating here somewhere. Where is it? The power rating is poor. So, you know, the power rating's poor for this guy, and probably for the other trains too. Is he going to hit his top speed of 45 kilometers per hour? Well, it looks like he's stuck at about 43. Well, maybe not. He's kind of inching up there, but certainly he's underpowered for the load he's carrying. Well, train number 1 did eventually hit 45 kilometers per hour, but it took an awful long time, and it does have a poor power rating. So I think, practically speaking, we've probably hit its maximum load. So where do we go from here? Well, the answer to that question lies in the next video. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. If you haven't done so already, smash that subscribe button below right now and click on the bell so you don't miss out on more great content. Click on that box in the bottom left-hand corner right now to see a video you're almost guaranteed to love. This video was selected just for you by YouTube, and they know what you like. So what are you waiting for? Click on that box now, sit back, relax, and enjoy another video.